Bang, Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, my lovely wife Kara is at work, and quick story if you didn't hear it in the live. So this is a knife that I gave to somebody, or not gave, but I put in a Christmas gift for someone. I didn't know who was going to get it in the family, but I knew a guy was going to get it. Anyway, the person that got it has carried the knife ever since, and I seen him the other day, and I seen that it needed some care, so I took it back from him and I replaced it with a different knife and said, next time I see you, we'll switch back. And he's pretty much became a knife guy. I mean, at least, carrying the Kershaw Atmos, because he hasn't taken it out of his pocket and he's used the heck out of this thing. Now, when I put the knife, when it was brand new, in the, package for the present, I put a screaming sharp edge on it. And when he opened it, it wasn't a couple minutes till he cut himself very bad. And within an hour, he cut himself again. Before the night was over, he'd cut himself between 2 and 3 times, 2 times really serious, like some pretty bad cuts. And, I kind of felt bad that I put the really sharp edge on it. Sometimes people, when they're used to just factory edges, and this is a guy who works around construction and tools, all the time. Granted, he was a little drunk, but either way, a lot of people aren't, they're not used to how sharp an edge can get when they're used to factory edges. Anyways, so I got it back now, and I'm going to give it some love after I show off really all the problems. So you guys see the rust. I mean, it's getting pretty serious. The edge is as dull as you can get. I mean, you can't get any duller. It won't cut. That's me really trying when I drag it. But if I just try to slice it, I mean, it's all burrs. You can hear it. Hear that? Anyways, so the edge is real bad, and then check the lockup. The lockup is almost to 100%. When I first packaged it up for the gift, it was about right there. So it's all the way locked up. It's almost to 100%, but it's still got some life left in it. Another thing, look at the tip. You can see the tip's a little bent from him poking things or stabbing things. I like the Kershaw Atmos because it's a good little EDC, deep carry. It's nice and small, but the action is fantastic. And then also I like that it doesn't have a reverse detent ramp. Listen to this. I love fidgeting with it like this. It's kind of addicting. Anyways, but the action on the open is real snappy. And I like that. And it's got good lockup. It's still locked up pretty decent. It's got a little bit of play side to side, but I'll get that out when I tune it up. But yeah, great little knife. And let's bring this baby back to life. And then we'll get some close-ups. All right. So now that we got it all tuned up, I did do a lot of work on the edge, but I didn't get it perfect. As you see the tip right there. This side's good. This side could have used a little more work. But this knife is going to be probably put right into a bag of concrete the second dude gets it back. So, you know, it's not a big deal. I did cut in a little choil there just because I didn't want to fight that extra steel right there sharpening. The edge is very, very sharp. So he will be very happy. These knives are pretty awesome. I actually do like these knives. I think they're great for either anybody or like first time knife users. The action's amazing. It's not assisted, so it is a manual knife. The fit and finish is pretty decent. The biggest flaw to me, I think, is they used HCR. I would have liked to see a better steel, but for somebody that just needs a regular pocket knife, now I think the person that owns this one should have a better knife, because they're a little harder on their knives than what this knife probably should take. You know, you see where the lockup's at, but it obviously works for him because he carries it every single day. So that says a lot. But the biggest downfall to this knife, I think, is this lock bar right there. You see how it protrudes? Now, I like that it has good access to the lock bar, but when sharpening it, man, my finger took a beating. You see the callus right there from holding it right there, you know, and pushing it across the diamond plates, because I did sharpen it with diamond plates. But yeah, you really feel that right there. Now, if I just grip it, it's not that big of a deal. But when you're actually doing the pinch grip, you know, you do start feeling it pretty bad. But I think this thing is definitely a lot better. The rust, you can kind of see a little bit of patinaing. It's not rust no more, because I did get that all off. You did not see me, but I did take it up to the sink and I took an SOS pad to it really aggressively, and I got most of it out, but I did have to take the Dremel to it. And I'm not worried about how the finish turns out or anything like that. Like I said, this thing is probably going to go right into a bag of concrete. But I wanted it to last, you know, as long as possible without, you know, having rust all over it. Because when rust gets to your knives, it's a sickness for steel, man. It will keep coming back. So hopefully this will last him until, you know, after I give it back to him. Hopefully it'll last him until I see him again, or, you know, and get him a better knife. But, you know, I know it's not going to last a ton longer, you know, between the lock bar and rust. You know, the rust is fine right now. It's not going to be there for a while, for a long while, but I would say he's not going to take care of it. You know, he's not going to care. So, you know, I could see him stabbing this thing right into a bucket of muriatic acid, you know, and just letting it splash on the blade and not caring. So I know it's not going to last that much longer, but when I really think about how long and how much damage this thing took and how it's still trucking along and still doing pretty good, it's actually done better than I would have thought, you know. So, but like I said, the person that owns this knife needs a little bit harder use knife. This is more of just a basic EDC. The knife I traded him is a little bit tougher, I would think, but I don't know. I think, you know, I don't know. I think it's a little bit tougher, and I think it'll last him a little bit hard, you know, through harder use, and it might be better for him. I'm expecting next time I see him and I see that knife, it's probably going to be pretty messed up. Luckily, I didn't give him a knife that, you know, I'm crazy over or anything. I like the knife, and I think it's a damn good knife. I gave him the Land 910, which is a very tough knife. It's a great knife, so I'm hoping that serves him well until I see him again. I'll probably see him Probably in a month or so. Maybe 2 months, depends on my family's occasions and everything. I know I'll definitely see him by Thanksgiving, but hopefully I see him before then. I know he'll have the knife in his pocket, so it won't be nothing to trade it back. But there you guys go. Kershaw Atmos, getting some love and getting tuned back up. There you guys go. Peace out.